partial relief. AGR dues should not be allowed to impair customer-centric investments in telecom. So the impairments to disconnect or separate. So AGR dues should not be allowed to disconnect or separate customer-centric investments in telecom. The Supreme Court's decision this week to allow telecom service providers 10 years' time to settle their adjusted gross revenue dues to the government comes as a partial relief to the debt-laden industry. So, Supreme Court has made a decision recently in this week. It has made a decision that it told that it will give a time of 10 years for every telecom industry to pay their AGR dues. And this decision is a big relief for all the companies in the telecom industry, because every single industry is in so much debt, so they need so much time. So Supreme Court has made a such wise decision and gave everything 10 years of time. And this is a big relief for the all the companies in the telecom industry. This will give the older providers, especially Vodafone Idea, a crucial breathing space to figure out how they can reconfigure their business plans to stem the relentless flow of operational losses and garner the resources to make sizable annual payments to the center over the next decade. So, not this is not only a big advantage to all the companies which are present right now. It is not just advantage of money, and it is actually also advantage for the older companies, the companies like Vodafone and Idea, to take their place again in the telecom industry. Now the telecom industry is mostly taken by Jio. So this condition may be advantage for the older companies like Vodafone and Idea. And how they can reconfigure their business plans to stem the relentless flow of operational losses and garner the resources to make the sizable annual payments to the central over the next decade. And also they also get an other advantage. In the next decade, they need to pay their dues. So they need to pay the dues, right? We just read it. Supreme Court has given a time of 10 years. So in the next decade means 10 years of time, they can also pay their annual dues. However, in setting a time frame, the court, which acknowledged the troubled landscape facing the linchpin industry, seemed to brush aside both the companies' request for a longer horizon as well as the center's well-deliberated recommendation for a 20-year repayment period, merely terming it excessive. We read that Supreme Court gave a time of 10 years for all the companies in the telecom industry to pay their AGR dues. But actually, before that, Center has given a time of 20 years, which is very more for them. And Supreme Court came into the scene and it said that no, Center actually gave 20 years. And then Supreme Court came into the scene and said that no, 20 years too much, and we will allow only a time period of 10 years. So they got time period of 10 years. And also Center has called a time period of 20 years just excessive. It's not just excessive, right? It is so much more. The government, having realized the enormity of the problem and its potential for significantly disruptive consequences to not just the industry but the larger economy as a whole, had trashed out the matter at various levels, including within the cabinet, before submitting its view. So, if a problem occurs, it would be a huge problem. It would be a huge problem, and also its capacity for ruining the India's economy is also more, because such a problem does not only affect the telecom industry, it could also affect the whole economy of India. So before the telecom industries implement their plan, they have submitted their plan to the cabinet, means the present government. Without naming any company, the center had made it clear that were the AGR used to be sought at one go, it could well push a service provider into insolvency proceedings. So they submitted their view, right? The companies in the telecom industry. After that, the center had done an announcement. It said that it did not mention the name of any company. It just said that if any company pays all the AGR dues in one go, means at the same time, if they pay all the money at the same time, the center will have to take some insolvency proceedings. Insolvency means the state at which one cannot repay the bill. So if they pay all the money at one go, the center will take insolvency proceedings, which may lead to the end of those companies. Such a turn could potentially impact millions of subscribers, with the surviving operators finding their capacities stretched to handle a sudden surge of mobile portability requests while simultaneously maintaining quality of service. So if such a problem occurs, means the companies getting shut down because of the insolvency proceedings. If such a problem occurs, the subscribers will also have many problems. The subscribers means the people who are a part of that company, the people who use the network of that company. So it would be a huge problem for the subscribers also, right? Because if that company is not there, they couldn't get their network, and they should and they should also find a new company to they should also find a new company for their number. Finding a new company is not only hard under these circumstances, but then they also need to ensure the quality of that company. So these both are extremely hard, and so the center need to rethink before they do something. The Indian Banks Association had also explained its position in seeking a judicious and non-disruptive outcome. So the Indian Banks Association. So this association, short from IBA. IBA has made a decision. It has made a decision for a non-disruptive outcome. Non-disruptive means a non-destructive. It made a decision which could ensure an outcome which is peaceful. So it said that the IBA represented that the various lenders who have much at stake given the industry debt, including that which is under resolution as a part of the insolvency and bankruptcy court process, amounts to over 4 lakh crore rupees. So the IBA has an advice, and it has said that the various lenders, means the various companies who are open for the subscribers, they are a part of this they are a part of insolvency and bankruptcy code process. So the government has started a problem. The center has started a process. It's the insolvency and bankruptcy code process. So those companies which are open for subscribers, they will be a part of they'll be a part of this process, and the total budget for this process amounts to 4 lakh crore rupees. The court, in its order, did take long cognizance of the multiple threats to the industry's well-being, the depressive levels of average revenue per user, the fraud competitive landscape, where a new entrance tariffs had triggered a price war hunting revenues, a surge in data usage, even as the price of such data plans remained most unviably low, and an overall diminishing ability to continue to invest in capital spending for infrastructure upgradation and new technology, including the upcoming adoption of the 5G networks. So the Supreme Court again came into the scene, and it made a wise decision. Cognizance decision means a wise decision, because cognizance means wise. So it has made a wise decision. The Supreme Court has made a wise decision, so that this multiple industries, so the various industries could easily escape from the problem which they could face if they pay all the AGR dues at once. So the problem is actually developed by this reason. The reason is that when the companies are not facing this problem, means before some time, when the trend of the companies was to have a package with high network and low amount of price, so that they would gain more subscribers, so they would get more money. But the problem right now is that they don't have so many subscribers. So if they don't have so many subscribers, they also don't have enough money. Before they had so much subscribers, so they had so much money. At this point, at the present moment, they won't have so much money. So not having that much money would create a problem. Would create a problem for them in investing for in spending money in for infrastructure upgrades and technology. Especially, they also need money to adopt the new technology like 5G. So even for that, they don't have enough money, and that's a huge problem, right? While the companies themselves are yet to decide on whether to seek a curative review of the latest verdict, the future of India's ambitious dreams of enabling a pan-Indian digital ecosystem that seamlessly connects the remotest rural inhabitant with a plethora of e-enabled services hinge on ensuring the industry stays healthy and vibrant. So it does not only affect those parts; it also affects in plan, which all the companies in telecom industry have. The plan is to provide the plan is to provide a pan Indian digital ecosystem. So their plan is to provide such an ecosystem, which could continuously and effortlessly provide internet to even the farthest villages in India. And to do that to do that the companies need to be healthy and vibrant, right? Healthy and vibrant means the companies need to have some money, more amount of money, so that they could surely invest, and they should also be vibrant. For that, the government needs to look beyond the AGR issue and reimagine the way it prices and seeks to monetize the precious yet immutable public asset of radio spectrum in the future. So to solve this problem, the government should take some. Take some precautions. Not only for this moment because of the AGR issues. It should look beyond that and should take the precautions even for the future. So if the center does that, we can save a huge asset which could create radio spectrum in future. Thank you.